We have a question from It's Navindu. Who inspired you to become a cricketer?
I think
I'm sure you've answered this question.
inspired means you got to have heroes, you got to have idols. So my heroes were Gary Sobers, Gundappa Vishwanath. But who inspired me, I would, rather than inspire, I would say encouraged me, were my parents. You know, at a very young age, because I started cricket very late in school. I was in Don Bosco school. It was a convent school. Cricket was the last on their list. It was football, hockey, volleyball, basketball. I might have played every game, billiards. At last, they started a cricket team, and I enrolled myself. In fact, I was playing tennis, and the cricket coach one day saw me playing tennis, and I was hitting with the right hand and left hand. And he said, you stop playing this, you come and you try your hand at cricket. And he noticed I batted right-handed, I bowled left-handed. And I did pretty well. I got into the team, did really well that season. Next year, I captained the side. We won the Shield. So I was, I think, about 12 years of age when I started. By 17, I was playing for Bombay, 18 India.
So also there's another question from Akhil. How has the game of cricket evolved over the years? Obviously, you've been a part of cricket. You've played the game, you've coached teams, and of course, right now you're a commentator. So how?
And it's evolved in a massive way for the better because of the different formats of the game. You know, when I played the game, it was only Test cricket. One-day cricket had just about started, but no one really gave it too much importance till we won the World Cup in '83. And then the whole nation started taking it seriously, including the players. And, you know, as time went by, you had the T20 format that came in, the IPL came in, and the craze for the game just took off to a totally different level. You know, and the pace of the game changed. I think where it's involved the most is the pace of the game because of the shorter formats. You know, the quality of fielding went up, the running between the wickets improved, the pace of the game changed, color clothing was there, it was under lights, it was razzmatazz, it was entertainment in the T20 format. And the beauty is this game has space for all three formats of the game, which, you know, we are very lucky. There's Test cricket, there's 50-over cricket, and there's 20-over cricket. And especially in our part of the world, the subcontinent, all three formats have a place.
So you spoke about how, you know, games are shorter these days. So we have like new formats such as the 100 and the T20, which are becoming more popular. So how do you see the future of Test cricket playing out? And this is a question from Pendekar Biru.
Yeah, I think Test cricket will always sustain itself. Only thing I believe that in time to come, you'll have to reduce the number of teams that play Test cricket just for the focus on quality instead of quantity. You could have two-tier system where you have 6 or 8 teams in one group and 6 to 8 teams in the others, where there's a qualifying. You know, there's a if you win the second division, you can come into the first division. Vice versa, if you finish last in the first one, you get relegated. I think things of that sort will have to happen if you want to sustain the quality and interest for people to watch Test match cricket. One-day cricket will survive. You know, and even 50-over cricket, I think will face a challenge unless they reduce the number of overs there by 10. You know, because when we started playing one-day cricket, the first World Cup that was played was 60 overs. Then very soon, you know, they saw the attention span of the spectators reducing. It went from 60 to 50. You know, so I see it coming from 50 to 40 also in the long run if that format has to survive. Otherwise, it might just well go Test cricket and T20 cricket.
But you can't deny the fact that even today there's a separate fan base for Test cricket. There are folks in India that absolutely love a Test match, right? With that, we move on to the next question, which is from Resta69. So his question is, as someone with experience in both, somebody who's played cricket, coached cricket, how do you view the potential impact of a game like Meta 11 to change the way we think about sports? And
it's all entertainment driven. It's digital. It's, I mean, you see even in cricket, the amount of technology that's come in, you know. In our time, there was no DRS, there was no, the quality of cameras, you know, you 6 or 7 cameras covering a cricket game. Today, you're 26, 28, maybe even more. You've got spider cam covering it from the top. So with that, you know, we'll evolve technology, you know, like the video games being played. the PlayStations that are coming out. Half the time in the room after the game, players are they're on their PlayStation to pass their time. It became the best friends of the players during COVID and bubbles and quarantine. So I think it will evolve in that fashion. The meta world will evolve in that fashion, where tomorrow with the artificial intelligence that exists, you can have your own team. You can create a own, Rohit Sharma or a Virat Kohli, and see their mannerisms, and compete with a friend of yours, at any given time. You don't have to wait for a game to happen. You can create a game. So that's how it's going to evolve. It's going to grab the interest of everyone, and it is the future, whether you like it or not.
Exciting times ahead for cricket lovers, no doubt. So quickly, I just want to understand how tech savvy are you?
I'm not that tech savvy, but you got to move with the times, and you will get tech savvy because it's damn interesting. Once you get the hang of it, once you smell the coffee, you kind of can get addicted. At whatever age. So it's going to be fun.
So we'd like to understand your role with Meta 11. How are you?
No, it's when Krishan and the founders started this, along with Kumar, who is a co-founder. They asked me to be part of it, and I readily said yes, because I knew the interest it will create in our part of the world, and where cricket is religion, the volume of people we have only 1.4 billion people. So even if 10% of that start playing, or 20% of that start playing, it's going to be massive. And I thought it was it was a great mind game, because there's a thought process in that. There's a challenge. It's like chess, or it's like poker. You're actually thinking, trying to outsmart the other guy. You're trying to play with artificial intelligence, who have done their homework and they're well ahead of everything. So it was a very exciting project that came my way, and I had absolutely no hesitation in joining. And I think it's going to rock. Let's put it that way, in time to come. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I think that also was a question that Nikki had to ask. He wanted to know what was the one thing that excited you the most about Meta 11, and I think that's pretty much what you answered just now. Another question from Christy69 is, if you had to pick between Virat Kohli and Sachin Tendulkar for a test series in Australia, who would you pick?
Virat Kohli and
why? No,
they're different generations. I never compare players of different generations, because Sobers was a king in his generation. Viv Richards was a king in his generation. Both fabulous players. Kumar Sangakkara was a great player in his generation. Virat Kohli will be a great player in his generation. So I rather look at decades gone by, and Virat will go down in history as one of the finest players of the last decade. Tendulkar, in many ways, is unique, because he's played 25 years only of first-class cricket, of international cricket, which very few have played. I don't think anyone's played 25 years of international cricket. So he will be a living legend as long as he lives, just for the longevity, the number of runs he's got, the number of hundreds he's got, which you might need about 500 pages just to, put his records in. Which could be a case study for any young kid. So he will be a living legend, no question. Cross decades.
All right. Our next question is from DNKJ. What do you think of the new pitches and the questions regarding whether they have given the Indian team an advantage?
So what advantage? You play at home, you want to play to your strengths. I mean, I for one want the first ball of the test match to turn. What's wrong in that? No one's getting killed there. It's the same pitch for both sides. And if one team is getting 400 runs, why are you complaining? If one player is getting 100 runs there, if you can't get the runs, it's your problem.
Well said. Moving on to our next question. I'm just quickly going through the questions because I want to make sure we get all of them sorted. Our next question is also from Akhil. What would you say are the biggest lessons you have learned from your time on the field?
I think what I've learned most is how cricket can build character. how, the game, if you want to evolve, if you want to be successful, you realize there's no shortcut. The work ethics have to be in place. The discipline has to be there. The concentration has to be there. The hours of practice have to be there. You got to put in the yards to get the distance. And it all helps in character building, punctuality, and above all respect, for your colleagues, for your opponents who you play against. And, there are things that are so important there, like I mentioned, punctuality, where if you're late, you're letting your team down, the team might just go, and leave you behind. And where these qualities stand you in good stead in all walks of life. So I think, these are the qualities that you learned from the game that are absolutely fantastic.
All right, thank you for answering that question. We're gearing up for the first edition of the WPL. We just had the auctions, and it was great to see a player like Smriti Mandana getting, auctioned for 3.4 crores, the most expensive player, of course. And then we have Shefali Verma, who was auctioned at 2 crores to Delhi Capitals, which is great because, if you followed her story, at one point in time, she's from Haryana, and she actually had to disguise herself as a boy to be able to play the sport and to be taken into an academy. And today, she led the under-19 team and won the inaugural title. And of course, now we have the women's IPL coming up. So that brings us to the next question by Pende Karibiru. With the rise of women's cricket, what changes do you see happening in the sport in the next 5 to 10 years? And how do you see these changes? How can these changes?
First of all, I think women's cricket is ready to take off. India is not far away from, achieving something major. They've come that close to winning a World Cup. Now the under-19 team has won the World Cup. So the interest generated is massive. I know how the game changed when we won the World Cup in 1983. The way people looked at us as cricketers, the way people looked at cricket as an industry, and how cricket became a small-scale industry. Today, it's an industry. Forget small scale. It's massive. Okay, and I think when it comes to women's cricket, they're there. I covered the and where I really got excited about women's cricket was when I did the hundreds last year in England. I saw the interest that was generated was unbelievable, and I said, if this can happen in England, I'm sure it'll take off in India. Where the number of people that we have in our country is so many, and where cricket is a religion. They'll come out and play. Just recently, when India played Australia in a one-day series, every game was a full house to watch the women play. So, if something major happens, it's already happened. Under 19, they've, won it. And if you win a World Cup or something, I think this will go even bigger. But whether they win it or don't win it, I think this IPL, women's IPL will be a big success. And, I think what it will do more than anything else, it will give a platform for a lot of players to showcase their talent, national and international. Obviously more national and international. And that international flavor will attract a lot of audiences and spectators to watch the game.
Definitely looking forward to the tournament. Another question that we had is from Gavin05. What advice do you have for young aspiring?
My advice would be, follow those work ethics of yours very closely. Remember, there's no shortcut to success. Believe in yourself. Certain days you'll feel a great high. On another day, you might be down in the dumps. But that's the beauty about sport. No 2 days are the same. You learn with every day. You will persevere, right? You got to be patient to get the rewards. More important than anything else. And stick to your guns, because whilst doing all this, you're learning a lot of things on the way. Your concentration levels, your fitness levels, your determination, your skill being improved, when it comes to playing the game. And like I said, it's a character builder. It'll only, help you in the long run.
All right, and our T20 Women's World Cup is underway right now. Our team already won the first match against Pakistan. They're currently already playing against West Indies. So your prediction?
I think India is one of the favorites, and everyone know that. It'll come boil down to India, Australia. England. They'll be the teams in the last four, maybe West Indies also is a dangerous team. So when you look at it, the way they played over 2 years, I think I see a semi-final slot there, and then after that, it's anybody's game.
All right, wonderful. So before we wrap up, two things. Number one, if you had to, if all those who have joined us right now on the live, if you had to tell them something about Meta 11, what would it be, and why should it be about
the main thing is it's exciting. It challenges your brain. It challenges your intelligence. Artificial intelligence challenges your intelligence. If normally you're sitting on the outside and giving expert comments, as regards everybody. Now do it yourself and see how you feel when you mess up. That's my advice. But have fun doing it on the way, because if you crack it and you win, you'll be very happy because you've called all the cards absolutely right.
That's true, and I also want to add that it's also a great way to make some big bucks. It's time that cricket fans also made some big money, and Meta 11 could make that happen. So we had this contest where we collected all of these questions, and we're giving away $250 to the best question this evening. We've already picked out the winner. The Meta 11 team has picked out the winner, but we have a request. We had a request that you, in your style, would announce the name of the winner.
Resta 11. You're the winner for $250.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Resta 69. Resta 69.
Good on you, Resta. Well done. Well done.
We'll get in touch with you. And thank you so much, Ravi, for joining us. I don't want to keep you. I'm sure you want to go and watch the
I want to.
game. And I'm sure we'll catch up very soon once the platform is officially launched.
Thank you very much, Amina. Make a lot of noise during the WPL, please. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.